We volunteered to host our daughter's summer softball party, and while I wouldn't say the house is a complete disaster, there are definitely a few areas that need some attention before everyone gets here. Whenever we are hosting a party, I always start cleaning up at least 1 to 2 days before the actual party. And since I volunteered just a few days before the party, today we are doing a last minute party prep, tackling some cleaning, picking up spaces that everyone will see, getting the backyard ready, and pulling everything together before the team arrives. So if you've got a few things that you've been putting off around your house too, then let's get started. So one thing that makes cleaning, organizing, or even just lounging around the house more enjoyable for me is having music in the background. So I've been trying out the MorningBlues A1 SonicGlass speaker, and honestly, it is the coolest speaker that I've ever used before. Everything is connected through Bluetooth. A lot of times you don't want to have your phone always connected, and that's why the Music Hub is available so that you can free up your phone, add your music apps directly to the hub, and control everything directly from here. You can sync and connect up to 3 different devices on the hub, and this cool feature makes me feel like I'm an actual DJ, where I have so many different features that I can control. You can also remove the vocals from a song, plug in a microphone, and have a really cool karaoke experience. But what makes this speaker so unique and different is the dynamic lyric display. As your music plays, the lyrics display on the glass in real time, along with visual effects that move and change based on the rhythm, energy, and mood of the song. It creates this really immersive experience where you're not just listening to the music, you're actually seeing it come to life. One feature I've had fun playing with is Lyric Lab. You can customize the way your lyrics are displayed with different fonts, layouts, and visual styles, so you can really personalize the experience depending on your mood. Another feature I thought was really cool is the scene sync. The speaker uses AI to recognize different music genres and automatically pairs them with matching visual styles, so the display changes depending on what you're listening to. It creates a really immersive experience, so you're not just listening to the music, you're watching it come to real life. When I'm ready to relax, I can switch over to Serene Lab, which offers different ambient and white noise modes that are perfect for creating a calm atmosphere in the evening or before bed. And when I'm not using it for music, I like using Clock Lab. There are several clock display options to choose from, so it still looks great sitting on a desk, shelf, or nightstand while displaying the time. You can also control different settings directly from the Function Interaction button, including adjusting the features and turning the black light on or off. I actually love turning the black light off because it really highlights the transparent glass design. You can also customize it through the MorningBlues app, where you can upload your own videos and photos, turning it into a personal display when you're not listening to music. I've added a few photos of our recent vacation. It's such a fun way to make everyday moments feel a little more special. And of course, the quality and sound matter too. It features dual full range drivers with hi-fi sound, so whether you're listening to music while getting things done around the house or using it to relax in the evening, it has great sound. And if you decide you don't want any lyrics displayed at all, then in the app you can select pure music scene, and you have a variety of different scenes that you can display on the speaker. It has a beautiful transparent glass display, so it looks really sleek and modern. It actually blends in with your home decor and becomes a part of the space. I like to keep mine on the kitchen counter because this is where I'm often cooking, cleaning, and I like to listen to music while doing those things. If you're someone who loves music or enjoys creating a cozy atmosphere at home, or looking for a unique gift idea, then definitely check out the MorningBlues SonicGlass A1 speaker. I'll have it linked in my description box below so that you can check it out. So I don't usually follow a strict cleaning system. I just look around and see what is the worst area, and that's where I start. Although I'm going to try and keep most of the kids outside because we are renting a water slide bounce house thing, I need the inside to be clean enough for people to come in and enjoy food. So the playroom has been bothering me. So I'm going to start in here. I feel like it's the easiest to pick up. So here we go. By the way, if you are new here, then welcome. My name is Michelle, and my channel is all about real life resets and home transformations. I like to say you start where you are, taking care of your home and building from there in a way that actually fits your life. I don't follow a strict system. I like to keep things flexible, and that's how I also approach my home. So just resetting what I can when I can and building from there. If that sounds like a space that you want to be a part of, then I would love for you to subscribe.
You will see me flying high. I'm staring into your blue eyes. We don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too. I've been saving you, and you save me too. Yeah, I need it. Don't you need me too? 'Cause I need you. Yeah, so call me anytime that you need a favor. Call me anytime I can come and save you. Oh, oh. Call me anytime that you need a friend. And call me anytime when you're out of tight and you. I got you. You got me, got me. You got me, got me. You got me too. Got me. I've been saving you. You save me too. Yeah, I need it. Don't you need it too? 'Cause I got you. You got me too.
So, how has everyone's summer been so far? For me, it's been good. We started off going on vacation right when we got out of school, and then I have the kids home basically all summer. This is only my second year to not be working at my corporate job. So, usually I will have tons of camps booked and everything so that I could work my corporate job and still do content on the side. But about a year and a half ago is when I left corporate, and it's given me a lot more flexibility with the kids. But last summer, I still had them pretty booked up in a lot of summer camps just to keep them active. And this year, now with 3 kids going to summer camps, it's been a bit of a challenge. Rye is only 3, so he was like in a daycare last year, so I didn't have to like sign him up for summer camps. But this year, I do need to sign him up for camps, and it's harder to find camps for 3-year-olds. So, or somewhere that they can all be at the same place instead of trying to drive them around to 3 different places or 2 different places and everything. So this year we went really light on the summer camp. So the girls have 2 camps, a cheer camp and a like just a activity camp. And then Rye, I'm still looking at different places he can go. We're doing swim camps, or like swim lesson type things, but they're not very long. So needless to say, I'm going to be home with the kids a lot this summer. So I am just trying to prepare myself because this will literally be my first year in my entire life to like have them home like almost all the time. Now, I know that's also what I wanted. Like that was my dream, was to be able to be home and be flexible. But if you have ever met Rye, he is such a wild child and he is like super hyper. So yeah, I just have to prepare for constant activities all the time. We're definitely going to do some, go to our neighborhood pool, do some pool days, and do stuff like that. We've also looked at some vacation Bible studies, which A lot of them, because they do offer free VBSs, vacation Bible studies around our area, a lot of them are on the same week that I put the girls in a cheer camp. So I can still manage, but I'm just, trying to juggle how to get all of my kids in different places at the exact same time is the problem. So for right now, our routine is in the morning. I wake up a little bit earlier than when the kids wake up, and then that's when I'm able to do voiceover type work like this, where they're not screaming in the background. And I say to give me a couple of hours until 12 o'clock, and then once I can work until 12 o'clock, then we're able to go and do something fun. So far, we're only like a week into summer because the first week we were on vacation. So I'm hoping that that works. But if you guys have any tips or tricks or ideas, then obviously leave them in the comments below. They not only help me, but they help everyone who may be in the same boat as me. All right, so I am moving on to the kitchen cleaning after I finished up the playroom. This is the second worst area that needs attention. And for the longest time, I've used the pink stuff to clean my stove. I stopped using the pink stuff and I just started using like dish soap. But I'm curious, what do you guys use for this? I feel like it still leaves streaky marks unless it's just, I don't know, maybe I need to use stainless steel cleaner, but what do you guys use to clean your stove? Because those are the two things I've tried the most, and I'm thinking about switching.
Another season we leave behind. Another story that's got me blind. Got only you on my mind. I couldn't face what I couldn't find. Just need to know I need peace of mind. Where are you now? Even though I won't believe it, the truth is a lie, we are healing. Even though words are deceiving, you move on. 'Cause every time I try, yeah, every time I dream, there's always this big part of me wanna believe in what I see. If you can make me smile, if only.
So we had a neighbor move in a couple of days ago, and Chris, is a landscaper. So a lot of neighbors have contacted him to help with their lawn maintenance and projects and stuff like that. And we had a neighbor move in down the street, and he saw Chris and came up to him and was like, "Hey, I heard you guys have the party house." And I was like, "Oh gosh." So Chris loves to have company over. Like, he is a super extrovert. He gets energized by other people. And yes, he likes to invite people over like constantly all the time, which, to be honest with you, I like to host too. I like to have people over, have fun, do things, which is why I volunteered to host this last minute party. But as you know, if you're the one who is prepping everything and cleaning everything and having like 20 kids over, it is a lot of work. Like, your house just gets destroyed, basically. So a lot of times I have to like warn him before the weekend, before he starts calling people. I'm like, "Hey, just so you know, we're not having anyone over. I've spent like 2 days cleaning the house and it's gonna get destroyed in like 2 hours, and I just cannot clean up again. So I'll have to be like, we're not hosting today." And before, I used to do like after the weekend, I would clean up the house and, make a video on it. And people would be like, "How does your house get so messy?" I'm like, "You don't understand. There's like 20 kids at my house all weekend, all the time. Neighbors, friends, like there's people over all the time," which, I do like hosting, so I can't complain too much, but I just want a good, healthy balance. And also when we decided to buy this house, that was one of the things is like, we need a good house where we can host. We need a bigger backyard for kids to play and to get, swing sets and things like that. We need a bigger table area where we can host a lot of people. So that was actually one of the things that convinced Chris to move whenever I like sporadically came home one day from a kids party and I'm like, Chris, I think we should move. And he's like, no, we're not moving. And luckily, like within 1 or 2 days, it was my birthday. So I was like, on my birthday, as my birthday present, can we please go look at houses? So he had to agree to that. And then I knew that once I got him in the door, like looking, then it was like when you start imagining and visioning all of your future and what it can be, then that's when I like was able to slowly convince him to be open to the idea of moving. But that was 2 years ago, which is hard to believe that we have been here for 2 years. But I still have so many projects that I want to complete. I love transforming spaces, decorating, keeping up with my home, and that's actually how I got started creating content in the first place, just filming projects, home resets, and everyday life that I was already doing. So if you've actually ever watched videos like this and thought, I could film that too, then I did put together a free film your routine guide that walks you through how to capture your real life moments and turn those into content. You don't have to live an extraordinary life to start either. That's a common misconception, and that's why I created this guide. So I linked it down below if you want to check it out.
There's another side of you trying to break through, able to tell the truth. No one else can see you like I do. All you ever do is say how far you wanna go. Baby, I can tell it's just for show. Every line designed to let me know. You know you're already accepted. To me, you're always picture perfect. You think you're gonna be rejected. Just say you're in love, 'cause so am I. So am I. Say that you are. So am I.
So this is the Dreamy Wet Vac, and I was also using the Dreamy Stick Vac to vacuum earlier. If I could change one thing about our house, it would probably be our floors, because in like certain light, our floors show every single footprint, smudge, everything. So I feel like they constantly look dirty. But if I could change one thing, I like the color, I like everything about them, just the fact that they show everything. But anyway, now that I have the main areas clean, which is my biggest concern, then I am moving on to our bathroom. Doing dishes and cleaning bathrooms are my two least favorite cleaning chores. So I don't typically start there unless that's the spot that bothers me the most. I typically start other places of the home, and then once I build that momentum, then I am like, okay, I have to keep going. I have to keep going, and then I move on to these areas. But one of my favorite things about this bathroom is the recent wood paneling that we added behind the mirrors. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It was super, I wouldn't say super simple, because I don't think any project is like really simple, but it was one of the easier things that we have done before. We got the wood panels from Lowe's, and then all we really had to do was cut them the right sizes, and then we used wood glue or nail glue maybe to stick them onto the walls, and then we just had a nail gun and just kind of nailed them in. So that was a home upgrade that wasn't that expensive. I think total with all the paneling, it was like $500, and then for all the materials. And yeah, it looks really good. And I forgot to mention, it's on both sides. It's both on my side and on Chris's side. I also feel like recently, maybe because it's summertime, there's a lot of houses up for sale, like on my street and in my neighborhood, in my area. And it's usually like summertime is the hot time to buy and sell. But a lot of these houses have been sitting a while. And yes, it could contribute to the market just in general, interest rates and all of that. But whenever we sold our house, we've sold two houses before, and a lot of the other houses, and like had been sitting for a while, and ours sold pretty fast. And I think one of the reasons why our houses in the past have just sold fast is because we do add like these small upgrades that make the house look a little bit more unique than some of the other houses in the area. And yes, price and timing and all of that contribute. But like when you're comparing, when you have a bunch of houses for sale at the exact same time, and a lot of them are super similar, and some of them had been sitting for a long time, and ours kind of sold really quick. And I'm just thinking a lot of it was a lot of the upgrades that we did. So I also try to convince Chris whenever I'm like, hey, I have another project idea. I think we should do this and this and this and this. And, he's the one doing the work most of the time. And I'm just the one who is, monitoring, supervising, and making the decisions. He's like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. But then I'm like, hey, this is going to add so much value to our house. And, you got to kind of talk him into it before he's like, fine, okay, yeah, I'll agree to start this project. But I also have small projects that have been sitting for a while. I bought a bunch of wallpaper to wallpaper the inside of our bathroom over there, and whenever I open the door, you'll see there is like there's boxes and there's wallpaper in there on the corner. Yeah, that's been sitting there for like 6 months, probably longer. And I tried to wallpaper this bathroom. I actually started a video on it, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, it's peel and stick wallpaper, and I put it on, like getting it exactly straight, getting it with no bubbles. Our walls are tad bit textured, so that really doesn't help. But I'm not going and sanding the wall. We've done that at our old house with whenever we were building out the nursery. Chris sanded the entire wall so that we could wallpaper one room, and it got sand absolutely everywhere. It was a complete mess. And I was like, I don't even care that much. Just do it. It doesn't have to be a flat wall. So, needless to say, doing wallpaper is harder than it looks, even if it is peel and stick. Um, so, I don't know if we're going to actually follow through on that project or not. And then the primary bedroom, I know I've had people ask me when this project is going to get started or be done. And I just can't decide what I want to do. And then when I look at stuff, I'm like, okay, that's not in my budget. And like I mentioned in another video about like our nightstands are too small for this space. They have to go. But whenever I get new nightstands, I want a matching dresser, but I need a big heavy duty dresser. Like it's a hamster wheel. Like if I change this, I need to change this. If I change this, then I need to change this. If I change this, then this needs to get changed too. So it's like I feel like it all has to go and flow together, which that's not really how it has to be, but in my mind, it, like that's how I want it to go. So then I just end up procrastinating. And then the big thing is like, do we keep these walls lighter or do we darken them? And then I don't know. When I think about stuff, I think like it's so permanent, which I know it's not, but I'm like, if I make a decision, I want to stick to it. I don't want to change it. So basically, bottom line is it is procrastination at its finest. I will get to it one day, hopefully this year. But I promise I will share everything once we get started. So while I am getting the house ready, they came and they delivered the huge water slide, and the kids are out there playing on it for now while I finish up getting the house ready.
It's easy to speak out about the way I live, but it's a 24-karat dream. No supermodel in my dirty jeans, but in my 24 inches heels. I am not pretending, I'm born like this, a game for the reckless. It's so extreme and I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. Calling me a mad woman, mad woman, mad woman. Calling me a mad woman, mad woman. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. 'Cause boy, it's none of your business if I'm a mad woman.
So earlier that day, I told all of the kids that they have to clean their own rooms, and then I would come back in and vacuum. And this is what Rye did, which is cute. He made his own bed, and it's not perfect, but we do reward effort. Next, I am going to work on the outside patio. But first, I'm going to use, this is the EcoVax WindBot, and I use this for these large windows. It's like a robot vacuum, but for cleaning windows. So it's super cool. It does take longer to do. So, or I mean like longer to clean. So if you need like something cleaned like super fast, then just, do your Windex or whatever. But for, I don't need it done in like 5 seconds. So I put it on here. It takes like 15 minutes or so because these are big windows though. So I clean the inside and I clean the outside of all of these windows, and it does a pretty good job. Now I feel like we just cleaned this outdoor space not long ago, and as I'm going through and cleaning up all of the seat cushions, I'm like, what is all of this black stuff on there? We saw like a week ago or so, we saw a little mouse run through the patio, and I'm looking down and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's mouse poop on these chairs. So I'm trying to wipe everything down, and then I'm gonna have to come back and power wash everything. I don't have enough time today because whenever you power wash, the rug gets wet, the seat cushions get wet, and it takes like at least a day or two to dry. So I don't have time for that. So I'm just doing a quick wipe down of everything out here because a lot of people are going to be out here. Will be out here, and at least get it somewhat prepared for having company over.
Boy, it's none of your business if I'm a mad woman.
We kind of lucked out with the water slide company. They delivered it a day early and then picked it up the next day. But whenever they came and picked it up, this is one of the things why Chris hates this. And he's like, it completely ruins our grass. And not only that, of course, I decided to buy tons of water balloons. So we have little water balloon, things everywhere. And if we do water balloons at our house, we usually have the kids pick it up. So we have at the very end of the night, we're like, okay, whoever picks up the most water balloons gets a prize, and we turn it into a game. But for some reason, we didn't do it that night. But you guys, the garden is growing. It is like 3 times the size of this. I will show you guys my garden update in the next video. But for now, I'm going to go around and pick up as many of the little water balloons as I can. It looks like the rain is about to come and make a complete mess, so I'm just gonna do it real quick before it gets too muddy.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I can
But as I finish cleaning up this mess, I wanted to thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that it gave you a little motivation to tackle something around your home. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.